Hey guys, last week we talked about the census, and what we learned is that, every 10 years we do this count of our population, and that count gives us some incredible data that we can use. Um, what I'd like to talk about this week is how we use that data to help make decisions, whether we're a business or a community or even an individual. So, today, we're going to, your job is to watch this video, and then in this assignment, just post me one thing that you learned. Now, tomorrow, what you're going to do is you're going to open up Tuesday's link in modules, and that's going to give you a button where you're going to open up this same activity that we're going to do together right now. You're going to open up a new version of that in Kami, and then you're going to have 2 days to complete the worksheet. Okay? So when you open this up tomorrow in Kami, you're going to see that there's a link here, census.gov quick facts. Just make sure you open this up. You could see up here, I actually already have it open for myself, okay? Now, before we get started, I just kind of want to review some vocabulary, and I don't think these terms are really new to you. Population, that's basically the number of people living in an area. And really, you could use it to talk about any kind of species, but when we talk about this census, we're talking about people. Demographic characteristics, that's the information about those populations. So whether it's age, sex, race, income level, education level, languages spoken. I mean, there's all kinds of information that you could get about a population, and the census helps us collect some of that. The last thing I just want to make sure that you're aware of is the word county. Just like the United States is divided into individual states like Pennsylvania, New Jersey, states are divided into counties. So I'm sure you know the county that you live in. Most of you live in Bucks County. Some of you, if you're on the farther extent of Coopersburg, you may live in Lehigh County. But we're going to talk about Bucks County today since actually tomorrow, excuse me, since that's where our school is located. All right. So let's get right into it. If we scroll down in our assignment in Kami, what we're going to do is we're going to examine a county in Michigan. It's known as Midland County, and we're going to look at how their population changed over time between 2010 and 2019. And we're going to use this website here, the Quick Facts, to get that information. Before we get into the comparison, let me just show you this website. It really is cool. First of all, you can look up any state, county, city, town, or zip code, and then you can narrow down exactly which data you want. But what I really enjoy is just kind of playing around with some of these tools and views. So right here, what we're looking at is the population for the United States as of July 1st, 2019, so last summer. And you can see we were at 328 million, okay? Now, they break it down, population estimates, age and sex, race and Hispanic origin, population characteristics, like how many veterans did we have? How many people were born in other countries? What kind of housing do people reside within? What kind of computer and internet use do people have? Level of education, health. How many people do not have health insurance under the age of 65? And, the list goes on and on. You'll notice that some of the numbers are represented in actual numbers of people, and then some are a percentage, right? What percentage of the population does not have health insurance? Well, as of 2019 in July, 10% of our population was under the age of 65 without health insurance. All right. 87.7% of our population, the United States population, as of July 1st, 2019, had a high school diploma or higher. That's wonderful. And those people would be above age 25. So you've got your what am I trying to say? Your topics over here, excuse me, and your numbers over here for the United States. Now, what's cool is if you type in a region, actually, before I show you that, let me show you this. If you go to a map, This will give you the population for our country in a map view. So here's our key down here. And looking at the map, you could see where our populations are concentrated, right? The coastal regions have the higher populations, right? Because down here, as we could see, the lighter shade of blue or green is much lighter than, say, those places with much higher populations. There is a very dark shade of a blue-green. So if we were just going to make some observations about this, you notice that, the New York, Pennsylvania, this tri-state area, relatively high population, also Florida, Texas, the West Coast. And then we see a very small population in these northern states right here. Okay, so the map view is kind of interesting just for getting this overall general overview. We could look at it in chart view. And this is the same data that you're getting from that map, except it's showing it to you in a bar graph. All right. So again, and you see the same information. California has a very high population. Florida had a relatively high population. And then some of those northern states that we looked at, Montana, North Dakota, let's see, where's North Dakota? Those are relatively small compared to, say, New Jersey, New York, California, like I just showed you. Dashboard just gives you all of it in one place. So when you click on it, you can see, those numbers broken down. This is our demographic data versus our population, right? Look at Alaska. You always forget how big Alaska is. But that color denotes that, very small population there. All right, so population data, right? These are the numbers of people. Demographic data. What's the information about those people that we've collected? Okay, so let's go back to our table view. I think that's the cleanest way to look at what we need for this assignment. All right, so going back to Cami, we want to know the population for Midland, Michigan, and then we have this demographic data that we want to collect. So Midland, Michigan, 2019. We'll go back to our quick facts site and we'll type in, Midland, Michigan. Oh, did I type it wrong? Midland County. There we go, Michigan. And we don't need to select a specific fact or anything. Everything we need is right here. And what I love about this view is now it takes Midland County, Michigan, and it compares it with the United States, which is kind of a cool side-by-side comparison for you. All right, so the first data that we want to get is the population overall. So if we look at the population for Midland, Michigan in 2019, we're at 83,156. So going back to Cami, just pick up your text box, click in the box. Now I'm forgetting. 83,156. 83,156. Okay? And you can move this if you want to center it, if you're anything like me. Next, it wants to know the percentage of the population under 5. So we scroll down a little bit, people under 5, and this is a percentage. 5.4% of Midland County's population is under the age of 5. 5.4%. So let's go back and plug this in. 5.4%. Now, you certainly could go through and do the math and figure out what that number actually is, but it's really not necessary. We're just sort of trying to get some general information. Now, if we're going to look already and make some comparisons, because here we have the information in 2010, here we have the information from 2019. So in 9 years, we saw that the population actually went down a little bit, right? We had 83,600 down to 83,100. The percentage of people under 5 has actually gone down just a little bit, 5.6% down to 5.4%. So nothing too earth-shattering, but still an interesting observation that we can make. So now let's get the percentage of population under the age of 18. Under the age of 18, again, this is a percentage. We have 21.2%. So we'll click. 21.2%. All right, that went down a little bit. Percentage of people 65 and older. 65 and older. This again is a percentage, 18.4%. If you look at our national number, the 16%, so it's slightly higher than the national average. All right, 18.4%. So let's go back. All right, now that went up pretty significantly in the past 9 years. All right, how many are female? So let's look here. We'll go to age and sex, female persons percentage, 50.7% is female. Now you may say, like, well, that's not fair. Why don't they list male? Just subtract, right? So 49.3 would be male, right? Okay, which percentage is white? Let's take a look. White alone, percent 93.9%. Compared to our national number, which is 76.5, that's pretty high, 93.9%. Now, how did it compare with 9 years ago? 93.9%. Here we go. That actually went down a little bit. All right, Black or African American, 1.4%, much lower than our national number. Went up just slightly in the past 9 years. American Indian and Alaska Native. American Indian and Alaska Native. Oops, what did I just do? There we go. A half of a percentage, 0.5%. Went up just a little bit. Okay, and the percentage of people who are Asian, 2.4%, a little bit lower than our national number, 2.4%. And that went up quite a bit in the past 9 years. Interesting. Okay, so now we have a side-by-side comparison of Midland County, Michigan's numbers in 2010 and Midland, Michigan's numbers in 2019. So if we scroll down, what do we notice about the data in the table? What kinds of changes do we see over time, or how is it similar? So if we go back up, I think one of the things that we noticed was that the number of people 65 and older went up kind of significantly. For the most part, we see some ups and downs in general, but for the most part, I think that we see the most significant change there. So I might just make a note of that. I'll put a little type box here. When I look at the data, I see that the number of people 65 and older has increased. What similarities do I see? Whoops, where am I going? What similarities do I see? I mean, I feel like a lot of it is very similar, right? We see the number of children under the age of 5 staying pretty consistent. Whoops. I also notice that the number of children under age 5 has not changed significantly. Okay? So, good. Let's move on. Tomorrow, what you're going to do is you're going to look at Bucks County in 2019. So I'm showing you this now because tomorrow I want you to understand what it is you need to do. You'll come up here, and where you search for your area, we'll do Bucks County. That pops right up. There we go. And now you'll see the information for Bucks County. Wow, just taking a look here. Population in 2019, 628,000 versus Midland County, which had 83,000. So maybe that puts that into perspective a little bit. Midland County is tiny compared to Bucks County. And then I'll let you tomorrow go through and see some of these comparisons as you complete the table. You'll notice that they don't ask for I guess they do ask for all the same things. Anyway, so that's what you're going to complete tomorrow. And then what I want you to do is I want you to think about, based on the numbers that we get, how does this maybe influence the way a daycare business would think, or an assisted living or nursing home, or a nail salon even, okay? Using the data from Midland County, we saw that the number of children under age 5 didn't really go up that much. So if I was a daycare provider, would the demand for my business be low, medium, or high? I guess, medium. The numbers went up just a little bit, but not so much that, we need this influx of daycare providers. So I would say low, medium, or high demand. Maybe I'll say medium here. And then my explanation would just be that the number of children under the age of 5 has not really changed too much in the past 9 years. Oops. Okay. Put that in there. Assisted living or nursing homes. I think that the demand there is very high. I think that over the past 9 years, there has been a significant growth in the number of people, I'll just say 65 plus. All right. And I think that absolutely would require more assisted living or nursing home facilities. And then you can look at nail salons if you want to. Then below, there's going to be a couple questions that you might have to answer. So just scroll down, see what you see, and answer any questions that are going to have you reflect on the numbers that you just saw. Okay. Again, this would be for Bucks County, not for Midland County, Michigan. I was just showing you that as an example. But anyway, hopefully what this showed you is, number one, the census gives us some incredible information. And then, so what? Well, we have businesses and we have communities and we have people who use this information to help them make decisions. So tomorrow, what you'll do is you will use this site here, which, in case you need a reminder, it's linked up here at the top of your worksheet, which you're going to open in Kami. You'll scroll down. I'll leave all of this in here so that you can see it when you're working on your activity. But you'll scroll down and you'll complete that same information for Bucks County. You'll tell me what you think that means for daycares and assisted living or nursing homes and nail salons. And then answer any questions that may be posted below, okay? All right. When you're all done, you can't see it on my screen because I'm signed in as a teacher, but you're going to see a submit button up here. So you're just going to turn that into Canvas. I'm going to give you 2 days to work on this because I know that it does require a lot of clicking and back and forth, and I really want you to take your time. So as always, email me if you need any help at all. But hopefully you do all right with this first Kami activity. All right. Good luck, guys.